Welcome to Startup Hack. My name is Spencer Thomason. I've been a software developer for over 25 years. I have hired and trained over hundreds of developers, and today we're going to talk about using Git like a pro. So I'm going to help teach you some more advanced techniques for using Git, and let's dive in and get started. Alright, so today we're going to talk about using Git like a pro. Now, Git is a very powerful tool, and if you haven't gone and seen the previous videos, go make sure you check those out. I'm going to have a card that'll show up here, and it will link you back to parts 1 and parts 2. And so if you haven't gone and see those, go watch those first, because if you jump right into the pro, you probably want to learn the crash course stuff first. But I'm trying to, and then also make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, because we do bring you a lot of helpful content. Also, make sure you check out startuphack.com, because we help train a lot of developers to become great developers, and we can do it in just 3 short months. So anyways, let's go ahead and dive into using Git like a pro. All right, so use Git like a pro. So today we're going to talk about log, advanced log, understanding a particular commit, viewing specific file changes for a commit, rebase, merge, and then merge versus rebase. All right, so let's dive in and talk about Git log. So, we've showed some graphical tools in some of our last videos, and you're going to see a lot of different graphical tools, but under the covers, really, if you're in a Git repository here, so I'm in my Git repository, and if I type git status, we can see here that I've got a clean working directory, but if I type git log, it's going to show me all the different commits, and I can use my up and down arrows to go through all the past commits. Now, one of the things you might be used to seeing is if we go to like GitLab, this is where this repository is being housed. This is the remote repository, and so if we come up to the commits, we can see all the different commits listed. This is like the Git log. This is like the graphical the graphical version of the Git log. This is actually Git's version of how to show the Git log. Now you'll see the semicolon down there. This is like VI type style. So if you're going to need to get out, you hit Q and it'll get you out. That'll take some people some while to figure out. So you can type git log and I'll show you all the commits. You can see the last commit and the head is pointing to the main. Here, this last commit, and we see this big long commit hash, right? Now, if we look over here, we can also see the same git hashes, but it's just the first part of them, right? So C, C, D, F, or etc. 187. We can see it's just this portion of the git hash. Usually that's enough, but if I come in here and I click on the whole one, you can actually then find usually the whole git hash. If we hover over this, you'll see it down in the URL there. So we can see, so this is git log, and so git log is important. Now, if we want to see git log in a pretty format, we can use really nice, long, pretty formats like these. So what this is the dash graph makes it adds the tree graph to the left. It's not the most stylish graph, but it helps to visualize changes in the project's branches. The format, you can add a lot of different formatting with different colors and allows you to customize the format of your logs. There are preset formats to choose from, or you can write your own format like this example. And then if you dash all, this includes all of the refs, tags, branches, and the logs, including remote branches. You might not want to see everything, so just adjust this if you need to. So let's try this command out here at our command line and see what this looks like. So you can see this git log is pretty ugly here and can be hard to read. So let's paste in our big, long, fancy one here. Now we can actually see how this tree builds out, right? We can see how we start to see a lot of different, this example with the tree. And again, if I move up and down the tree, it's going to look more like this graphical user interface. Now, if we come to GitLab, we can actually see the tree in a similar way. And this is just more top to bottom, right? And so this one's top to bottom. If I were to open up this repository, let's try this repository here locally. So if I'm going to go open this local repository, we're going to go find it here. So we go to my course and go to GitLab and open this guy here. So we can see the tree here in another version of a graphical format, right? Where we see the branching and merging strategies that have gone through as we've added and removed all these branches. This is actually just how it looks at the command line and how the command line builds out that tree. So we can see here from top to bottom these commits. This does make it a lot easier to see, a lot easier to read, and so there's lots of different graphical ways to show this, and you'll see lots of different examples as you go along. So that's ultimately under the covers what each of those different graphical things are doing is they're rebuilding the get log here. All right, now if we want to actually add the command line, see a specific commit, we can go, and so let's say we wanted to see this commit here. So I'm just going to grab this guy and copy it, break out of here and say get show, and then I can paste this get hash. Now, obviously the get hash is much longer than this, but generally with even this many number of characters, it's usually considered pretty safe. So this will actually show us that get hash. It'll show us the commit, it'll show when it happened, it'll show who did it. And so you can see that Rakesh did this here. Rakesh is one of our instructors here at Startup Hack. If you like these videos, make sure you like and subscribe. But most importantly, if you like these videos, you should definitely be signing up for Startup Hack. Startup Hack is an amazing program that helps you to get up to speed to become a full stack developer in just 3 short months. So if you're already a developer and you're just kind of improving your Git skills by watching this video, then refer it to somebody else. Otherwise, definitely check out startuphack.com. Great way, lots of tutoring. Rakesh is one of our instructors in the program. He'll help you get cruising. So anyways, Rakesh was working with this repository, so we can see that he's the one who committed this. Now, if we actually want to see the particular files, and we can actually do this with a -- stat. So let's show that with a stat. This will give us even a little bit more, and gives us a little more statistics about that. And so that's a good one here. And then also we can say, hey, I want to actually see what changed in the file. Let's actually go look at see what it was that Rakesh changed in the file. So if you're struggling with, hey, what did this person do? You can actually do the commit and then a -- in the sample. So if we do this, let's get rid of this, and we do a -- and say sample. So we can actually see, in this case, let's see which file got changed here. So we can actually see some of there's no sample in there. So if we just tab here, it should tell us which file. So we can actually, let's look and see if sample made a change. Well, let's go see which file here made the change. All right, so that was probably kind of a tricky example because that was just a merge. So a lot of times in a merge scenario, files actually aren't changing a lot. So let's do a get show, and we're going to do a different change commit where I know a file changed. Now we can see here, we can see where that file actually made a change here. So if I do this and dash, and then we can see, hey, the sample.txt file is what changed. It's going to show us what changed inside that file, and we'll see just these plus signs of what changed in that file. So this is a good way to see actually what's changed inside of the file. All right, next we're going to talk about get merge. So you have 2 options for integrating your features into the main branch. You can merge directly, or you can rebase and then merge. The first option results in a 3-way merge and a merge commit, while the latter results in a fast forward merge and a perfectly linear history. So we're going to learn rebase in the next slide. But in this case, you can see that if we are working along here, and then this is the feature tip, and we want to merge back, this is going to actually merge it back into the main branch. So this is the most common way that you're doing rebasing, and then merge can be kind of dangerous. It's easy to overwrite things. So you need to make sure you're really careful when you do this. So there's different times to do different things. And so in this case, if we had and so I showed an example of this our previous get status. Let's see where we're at here. So we're at the tip of main. So if I wanted to make a change, let's say, to our sample here, so make a change here really quick, and I say I want to make a change to our feature, just like we did before, another line. So we're going to add that. And we say get add -a to add them all, get commit -a -m. We needed to make changes to demo merge. Okay, so So git push. Oh, where do I want to push yet? So now we've now committed this change here, right? Now, oops, I meant to make a branch first. So we've made this. So let's actually, so one of the interesting things that we can show here, since we're learning about get log here. So let's do get log. And if we look back here, we can now actually see, so the origin is actually at this spot. So we haven't merged back to the origin. We're one ahead of origin. But let's say we wanted to actually go back to this commit. So let's say we found that there was a bug in this commit. So I'm going to copy this. We're going to say git checkout, and we can actually check out right to that code commit. So now we're in a detached head state. So if I do get log now, you can see we're at this detached head state, which means we've actually gone back in time to where that commit was. Now we can create a branch at this point. We say get branch. Let's call this bug fix. Okay. So now we're in this get branch bug fix. So see, we're in this detached state. Get checkout bug fix. Get log. Okay. So now we can see we're in the bug fix branch, right, which is at that spot. Now, if I go and so now our file, if we come here to our file again, we're going to see that the file actually only has 2 lines. And so we had actually had a 4th one and committed it. So now if I say, so when I save this, what's going to happen if I try to merge these 2 branches back together? So let's look at our big fancy, and so I'm going up and down arrow is how I'm going back through my commands. So I'm going to go back to my big fancy log one here, right? So we can actually see now that we've diverted, and so if we do get checkout master, so we're going to hop back over to master. Oops. Get status. Oh, we got to commit this file. Get commit. Let's add it and commit. Add -a. Get commit. So we fix our bug here. So now if we do our get log here, we can see, if we look up here at the top 6 seconds ago, we did this bug fix, right? So our head branch is here, but this is where we needed to make this change. So there's actually some changes that are fast forwarded to that. So if I say get checkout master, okay, and it looks like here we're calling get checkout main. Okay, so now we're back on the main branch. Main and master, depending on a few years ago, by default, Git started using the term main because it found that master was a racist term. And so you can kind of use main and master interchangeably. Older repositories are still going to have master. Newer repositories may have main unless they've been manually changed. So in this case, now if we do our get log, we will be able to see our bug that's sitting out here, our bug fix branch, right? So now let's go ahead and see what happens if we do git merge bug fix. Now it says, hey, there's a merge conflict. Oh no, fix your conflicts, and then you can result. So if we actually come into our file here now, we're going to actually see a merge conflict. You can see Git didn't know what to do with this because we made the change in 2 different places. And so you can see this funky head and this from the bug fix. So it's like, hey, look, I noticed that there's this line and there's this line, and then there's this other line that got added into the middle. And so this is this can be a tricky situation, and a lot of times you have to do these and resolve your merge conflicts, save the file, and then we can do it again. So, so it wants us to then get and fixing up merge. And so in this case, we'd have to do some resolution to fix up the merge. We're not going to do that for today. Today we're going to, and so these are merge conflicts where you get into and you need to resolve these merge conflicts. And so you have to actually fix up the tree, to git add and remove files or fix appropriately the files that you've changed. So in this case, this would be what we refer to as a merge conflict. So merging is important to understand, and it can definitely be one where tools can help with merging to help in these hairier merge conflicts. And this was obviously a pretty simple example of a merge conflict. Now, this is where sometimes that a rebase can come into place. The primary reason for rebasing is to maintain a linear project history. For example, considering a situation where the main branch has progressed since you started working on a feature branch. You want to get the latest updates to the main branch in your feature branch, but you want to keep your branch's history clean so it appears as if you've been working off the latest main branch. This gives the later benefit of a clean merge of your feature branch back into the main branch. So why do we want to maintain a clean history? The benefits of having a clean history become tangible when performing git operations to investigate the introduction of a regression. So, the rebases are one that can become important for a particular time, but you also need to be careful because if you don't properly have your code committed, it's also a way for you to overwrite things. So, note you don't ever want to rebase in public history. That can get to be a big mess. So, now, generally, you want to use rebase when there are changes in an upstream branch, like main, that you want to include in your branch. You'll use merge when there are changes in the branch that you want to put back into main. So in the first image is a merge and shows the rebase. Notice the structure of the graph. Note in the second, in the same folder, download you can see the example where this one stays linear, right? So instead, feature 1 is actually then brought forward linear to the master. This one actually was done between these two branches and then merged back into feature 1. So these are an example of merge versus rebase. Definitely would encourage you to sign up for startupack.com where you can get a one-on-one instructor to help you through some of these kind of hard things as you begin to navigate merge conflicts, rebase versus merge. You can definitely do a lot more reading into this, but hopefully this gave you a little introduction into this. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Definitely go check out startuphack.com. It's the best one-on-one tutoring that you can provide. I also do provide business consulting, so if you're starting a startup and you would like to do some business consulting, make sure you reach out to me on the startuphack.com/consult. Other than that, we will catch you next time.